Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Okay. I am going to get some cards ready. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is you are turning heads. So you're getting quite a bit of attention, whether you recognize it or not. You're getting quite a bit of attention. People are noticing something about you. Mhm. They're noticing something about you, and there's a lot of energy. I don't know if you guys could feel it. There's a lot of energy, and honestly, it's it's feeling like an existential crisis. um yeah. Yeah. So, you are turning heads. There are things that are happening, and I think whatever this is that's happening, it's something that needs to be allowed to happen. It is something that um is absolutely necessary for you to experience, for you to I guess even come to terms with, right? So first, I'm very sorry that I'm super late. um I'm quite late for the start time that I had put, and it was this thing of um just really getting lost in my own thoughts, really allowing myself to hear some of the messages from soul that are coming through. um it's it's a lot. It's it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think what we just need to do is allow ourselves to be fully present as we go through the things that we're going through, and allow ourselves to recognize when life and soul are doing things for us, right? It's a lot of energy, guys. And I really don't know where this reading is going to go, but I do feel that it's going to be something quite powerful. Quite powerful. It is oh, I hear the term universal truth. Okay. Where is this going to go? When I start hearing terms like universal truth, I start to wonder, where is this reading going to go? So let's see. Again, when I asked what this reading was going to be about, what I heard is you are turning heads. Okay. Okay. There were some things that happened. You're at a point where everything is about to massively shift. You are at a point where everything is about to shift, and it's going to shift rapidly. It's going to shift in a way that will bring you quite a few situations and connections that will really just bump you up to the next part of your journey. This is intense. This is intense. So, part of what I was doing that made me late is I was watching a video created by I don't remember her name, but it was created by a gal who achieved tremendous amounts of success in a very short period via social media. And it was talking about scaling, and then how she lost herself in the process. And it's almost like I received that video as a pep talk from soul. I mean, I already had started I had already created the live stream that we're on right now. So there was no way for me to know what that video was going to be about. I was just like, "Oh, maybe I'll watch this video as I get a few things done before I start the live stream. And it was this thing of that video being received kind of as like advanced guidance from soul. You're turning heads. You are turning heads. Much like how this content creator turned a lot of heads very quickly because of the quality of the content and the trajectory of her journey. You are turning heads. Things are about to shift massively and majorly for you. Massively and majorly. And I think the first set of cards, um, it's kind of just a warning. It's giving you an idea of the fallout that will occur if you don't take heed to what soul is trying to emotionally prepare you for. I think for many of us, um, we do struggle from some degree of imposter syndrome where we don't feel like we're enough. We have to do more, we have to offer more. We further complicate our journey because we can't see our validity in the moment. We always feel as though if we achieve more, if we do more, if there is more tangible proof of why we are worthy to have people's attention, um, to be heard, to be recognized, to be validated, uh, we think that we need to do more. I don't think that's the case. I think you're exactly where you need to be when you need to be there. And I think what's happening right now is soul is letting you know, like, hey, all of these things are already set up. This is something that you have known is going to happen. You have been emotionally prepared for many, many years at this point, seeing, feeling, sensing. And now that the moment is here for that turning point, for that moment where you turn the right heads and you get the attention of the people, places, organizations to really catapult you into the spaces you belong, you're having an existential crisis. I know I'm having an existential crisis today. I don't know what it's over. I don't know. I don't know. But let's get started with the cards. This first set of cards really is an indication of what might potentially be experienced if you try and disregard the guidance of soul. Okay. Soul is trying to get you to go through this experience with as much grace for self as possible, as much comfort, as much support and compassion. If you don't want to cooperate, the cards are going to tell us what's going to happen. Okay. So the first card, let's see. It is death in reverse, stagnation, slow changes, partial change, inertia, narrowly avoiding a serious accident. So you're still protected. It's not really this thing of we're going to let you be unnecessarily hurt, unnecessarily harmed, inappropriately accessed, but it's this message of, I mean, do you want to go through that struggle? It's like trying to swim through a bog, right? Like, do you need to experience that? Is that what you are consciously choosing for yourself because you're afraid of the attention you're about to receive or the attention you're already starting to receive, right? Okay, next card, prosperity in reverse. Without allowing yourself to acknowledge what soul is asking you to do, to acknowledge the things that you are afraid of, that's causing you to become hesitant to a process that's well on its way. It is well on its way. Um, you will not have the prosperity you're working so hard to get. I don't know who I'm feeling. I'm feeling someone, and it is just an absolutely heart-wrenching devastation. I don't know who I'm feeling, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm very hesitant to try and find out. Whoever you are, whatever you're devastated over, just hold on. Just breathe. I promise you it's not as bad as it feels right now. You just keep breathing and focusing on bringing in the next breath and letting go whatever toxicity, whatever distortions, whatever pain with your exhale. You will get through this moment. It is only a moment that is being stretched out. It is only a moment. And the sooner you let this moment go, the sooner it will be easier to breathe. The faster you will restabilize and regain the clarity that is necessary to understand why you are feeling the way you are. Just breathe. Breathe and allow yourself to feel some degree of liberation from that pain, that intensity. It's only a moment. You will get past it just like you do every other moment. If you could do me a favor and breathe very deep and very slow, because whatever you are going through, it is absolutely affecting me in the most visceral way. I like air. I like to breathe. It's hard to speak when there is no air. And if there is a message here for you, I'm going to need you to cooperate with me so I can get you that message, so I can gift you that clarity, even though I don't know what it is you need clarity on. You won't drown in your own birth waters. You're simply in the process of rebirthing yourself, rebirthing your perception of who you are and what you're here to do. You'll get through this. But I don't know how much use I'll be if I pass out from lack of oxygen. My lips are starting to tingle. My fingers are starting to turn mildly purple. So I'm going to need you to breathe. And if you cannot breathe, with or without your consent, I'm going to sedate you. I cannot join you there. But I do invite you to take my hand and join me exactly where we're at right now. It's okay to cry and feel intensely. It's not okay to withhold your breath, to not allow yourself to be renewed. Thank you. These are nothing but cycles. Whatever's being experienced, these are just cycles. They cycle in and cycle out, and the severity with which we experience these cycles is really contingent on us. Our willingness and ability to flow with it will cause it to feel less intense. Our lack of willingness, our inability to flow in the direction that soul is guiding us to flow, will cause us to feel as though we are being punished and battered on the rocks in that river. You know how to swim. You know how to survive. Soul is not asking you to do either. Soul is asking you to choose to thrive, to stand up so that you can recognize this water. It's only up to your knees. It might be strong, but it's not deep enough to fully destroy you. This is merely a cycle that you are entering into, a cycle that you did not initiate, a cycle that's causing imbalance, a cycle that's causing so much internal destruction that you feel like you're being destroyed for real. But are you? Is it you that's being destroyed, or is it simply the parts of you that fight the process that brings you that much closer to your space of home, the home within yourself, where you can experience the stillness and the peace that is necessary for you to gain true clarity about the gravity of you? You're turning heads. Whether or not you want people's attention, you are absolutely getting it. And maybe it's been a few weeks or a few months that you've been getting this attention and you haven't been noticing. Because again, that imposter syndrome, right? That space of like, oh, there's no way. I'm just me. All the other things that we think of that make us think that this is our explanation as to why there's no way we can be a source of greatness, that there's no way we could possibly succeed, experience some degree of success, allow abundance into our lives. You know, yeah, no. I think even without you trying, you're well in the process of making this happen for yourself. You know, I'll tell you guys something that's been happening at the gym as of late. Um, it's been weird. So I have like a weird relationship with the elders at my gym. There are a couple, meaning two, maybe three, that have been very aggressive and outlandish in their attempts to force interaction with me. And I'm just really not one that you're going to tell what to do. I'm either feeling you or I'm not. And second of all, I have a limited amount of time. I'm there focused on what I'm there to do, not to socialize. So I have really just been keeping to myself, and I haven't really been engaging with these two that have been very um very much hell bent on trying to force interaction. I'm like, just that's fine. Whatever. I'm not going to interact. I'm not going to be rude because they're elders, but I'm not going to welcome that. I'm not willing to participate. And so they haven't really been at the gym, probably because my soul is like, listen, this girl, she's about to respond in a questionable way because she's being rubbed so wrong at this point. So I haven't seen them. But in the past couple days, there are several of the elders at the gym who have been very respectfully interacting with me. And I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. It's been very validating. One gentleman, he introduced himself in the middle of a workout. He introduced himself, and it didn't feel inappropriate. It didn't feel creepy. He was like, I see you here every day that I come. And I just want you to know you are personally inspiring me. You work so hard on yourself. And I felt it was time to introduce myself and let you know that you inspire me. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so sweet. Thank you. And I was like, why are you telling me this? But like, I guess I needed some type of external validation that I refused to allow myself to recognize. And I'm over here thinking that's a one time situation, but it wasn't. Because again, another elder at the gym just today, he basically flagged me down. And I don't know. I was like, "You need help?" And he's like, I have to mention. He said he had to mention that he had seen me showing up every day and working on myself. And he has recognized that it has been quite some time that I have committed to this, and that I'm doing an amazing job. that I've completely transformed myself. I was like, "You think?" And he goes, "Absolutely." And he was super serious. And it was just I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you." I have been trying my best to work on myself. And then he kind of looked at me like he was wondering, "Why do I do that? Why do I show up as often as I do?" And I don't know if maybe he asked it in his head, but I was like, "Oh, I'm actually at first it started as an attempt to rectify my health. And then I'm a very goal-oriented individual. If you give me a goal with a deadline, um, I'm very driven and I will make that happen." And so I gave myself a goal of competing for the first time in a figure competition. And he goes, "You're gonna win that." And I was like, "Oh, you think?" And he goes, "Absolutely." I was like, "Oh, okay." "Okay. I'm gonna listen to you, sir." I mean, I didn't say that, but I was like, "Oh." I hope he didn't think I was flirting with him. It's just like a Piscean thing. But that's the thing. Um, People are recognizing the effort, right? I think that's what this reading is. Letting you know that people are recognizing the effort that you are putting into whatever it is you're doing. Whatever it is you're doing, people are recognizing the effort. When you put enough effort, eventually what you're working towards, you get closer to it. And you get closer and closer and closer. And sometimes you have to adjust, you have to reconsider, you have to refine your approach, maybe redirect yourself. But eventually, if you keep showing up, if you keep applying yourself, not only are you going to turn heads, you are going to come to a space of fulfillment. You are going to make happen the very thing that you are working so hard to make happen. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're making it happen. You're bringing to life the very thing that you have been tasked by soul to birth. That's a beautiful thing. You're doing it. Okay. These cards. Okay. The Queen of Light, illumination, enlightenment, and celebration, but it came in reverse. So I think this is telling me that you're still kind of choosing to sit there in the darkness, in the shadows. Do you need to do that? Or is that something you've just become accustomed to being in a darker space? I like to ask myself when I start to fight my own process, I like to ask myself why. Why am I doing that? What is it that I'm trying to avoid? And if I can't come up with a really good answer, not just an intellectualized excuse, but an actual valid reason, then I double down on what I'm doing. I double down on what I'm doing and I allow myself to more deeply commit because I might have imposter syndrome, but I'm not going to allow that to stop me. If I don't feel confident enough to do what I am tasked to do, then I'm going to double down by investing more of my time, energy, and focus into cultivating the skills that will make it possible for me to do what I need to do. Right? I share this with you guys. I don't know if I've shared this before. It's been like my little secret. It's not really a secret, but I don't know. Uh yeah, so when I decided I'm really going to commit to doing a figure competition. That's not the same as a bikini competition. There's a difference. There's a difference. I then realized I don't have enough knowledge, working knowledge, to correct some of the things that need to be corrected in my form, in my figure. I am extreme in my perfectionism. And because of that, it can be crippling, but it can also be a superpower. Because of my perfectionism, I'm seeking absolute symmetry in my entire body. I have an existing injury. It was severe. It was such a severe injury that I dissociated from that grouping of muscles. My body was developing crooked. And because of the imposter syndrome that I have, paired with my perfectionism, you know what I did? I just invested a shit ton of money to become a certified personal trainer with the most respected organization for personal trainers. Not only did I invest in that, I invested in a couple other courses. One in particular, corrective exercise and stretching. I haven't gotten to those parts. I've been very busy. I haven't finished the CPT course. I've been very busy. But because I have that tool, it's a crutch. I'm a medical intuitive. I know what needs to be fixed. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe in myself. So what did I do? I invested a shit ton of money in a program that will help me to reassure myself. And you know what? I have been correcting that imbalance. You can't quite tell unless I point it out. You can't quite tell anymore. And I'm learning about opposing forces. And that just because you feel pain in one area does not mean that is the area that is broken, that is injured. That oftentimes where you experience the symptom is not where you actually need to focus. How is this helping me? Because I'm realizing in the world of spirituality, through your spiritual journey, there will be those who are positioned opposite from you. And it's not necessarily to oppose you, to go against you in a malignant way. No, it's that juxtaposed, you begin to understand the truth of what you are doing. Do you know what you're doing? Do you need to know? Are the people in your environment the very things you're being juxtapositioned beside so that you can better understand what it is you need to do, how to go about doing that? I mean, what is it? Are you afraid to push yourself? Are you afraid of re-injuring yourself? Are you afraid of experiencing the truth of your potentiality? I mean, we're all afraid of something. But is it something we need to be afraid of? Or is it simply part of your imposter syndrome, creating an imbalance that is negatively affecting you? But here's the thing. Yeah, you perceive it as pulling you back. You're going backwards. You're going backwards because you're afraid, because you have this fear of failure, because this, because that. You're going backwards. You're backsliding. Are you? Are you backsliding? Or are you simply being the arrow pulled back as it's mounted on the bow? You realize all of that backwards movement, it's loading a charge. And the moment you let go, it will launch you forward in an amplified manner. Like, wow, you're going to shoot much further than you realize. Michael says to ask myself again, why are these people complimenting me at the gym? And not in a weird way, because then if it's in a weird way, I'd be like, ew, creep. Yuck. I totally won't hear the compliment. I'll just be like, ew. Right? Why are they complimenting me? I don't know. Because they're nice. I don't know. He just face palmed. He's like, no, it's not because they're nice. Why? Gotcha. Woo. Okay. Makes sense. Um, the past week or so, I've been going through my own little process of questioning my decisions and my goals across the board for my entire life. It's not a bad thing. It's kind of just like a deeper audit of myself, right? A deeper audit. I like to audit myself frequently just to see where I'm at, where I've grown, where I've kind of stagnated for a little bit, what needs more support, what needs more understanding. And in the middle of one of those audits, I kind of just came to the conclusion that I'm being ridiculous and that there's really no way um, that I could win a competition. Um, and it's not an age thing. It's not this thing of there's no way I can win because I'm like double the age of most of the competitors. It's not that at all. It's that, and this is the reality of it. In the specific category that I'm choosing to compete in, um, a lot of the ladies choose to take enhancement, performance enhancement supplementation. Ugh. Yeah. So Michael's in my ear. He goes, the issue isn't the fact that your competitors, your competition is taking steroids. It's not the issue. The issue is I don't know how to lose. I don't know how to let go of control and allow myself the potentiality of losing. Because just the thought of losing sends me into a tailspin. Because to lose is to validate. Every fucked up thing that people have tried to convince me of about myself my entire life. And for the first time, I'm entering into a space with women just as competitive as I am. Who have just as much heart, just as much dedication and discipline. And I cannot control the outcome. And I have many things that technically are a disadvantage. But will that stop me? No. And it's not me giving up. It's me adjusting my goals to be more realistic, to create space, to have compassion for myself. Right? So it's this thing of my goal is to win. But not win at any cost. To win because I am the greatest expression of fitness in that category. And to create space for compassion for myself. I'm not giving myself only one competition to win. That I will keep going and keep pushing until I achieve the goals that I've set. And what is the goal? I want my pro card. I want it in the first show. But if I don't get it in that show, I will keep doing shows until I get that card. And when I get that card, I will reassess. Do I want to go further? Do I want to try for the Olympia? You have to be invited to that. I'm giving myself the space to have enough compassion to recognize when my body has had enough. And when I can do more. And in this process, I'm realizing I'm developing an understanding of myself. I'm developing an understanding of where I'm at within my journey in such a refined way. And that every single obstacle is nothing more than an additional plate put on the bar for me to lift, not to destroy me, not to punish me, but to just increase the potentiality that I'm working towards. I will achieve everything that I set my mind to achieve. And part of what I'm achieving now has more to do with my spiritual progression, my emotional growth, than it has to do with any competition or any type of gym thing. I'm learning to love myself in the space that I exist in. Not to force myself to enter other spaces so that I can better love myself. No. I am learning to love myself in the spaces that I exist in. And that process is a very silent, very internal process for me, for you, for everyone. Growth is silent. Growth is imperceptible, oftentimes. It's only after massive progress has been made that you can begin tracking your growth. So I'm totally like a plant addict. It's true. It's true. I have tons of plants. I live in like an indoor jungle at this point. Right. And it's not enough to have plants. I love trees. That's a Christmas tree. That's going to grow into a Christmas tree. That's going to be a Christmas tree too. And I believe I have 2 more in the house. Hear me out. Hear me out. So I've moved quite a few times and I lug all my plants with me, including my outdoor plants, which are trees and bushes. Yeah. Imagine being married to me. It requires a 26-foot U-Haul to transport my plants, and they don't all fit in there. So I have fruit trees that I've been lugging around with me for a couple years at this point. They're taller than me. They're taller than me. The area that we're in, mind you, I always live on a mountaintop. The area that I'm in is not an area that some of my fruit trees can survive in. So there was a cold freeze, I don't know, like 2, 3 months ago, something like that. It was a freak blizzard. And um, my fig tree and my nectarine tree, which are not compatible with this region, I got it from a different region. They were placed in the garage. And I was like, "Oh my god, did they die? Did they die? I don't feel life. I'm so worried about my babies." And for days now, I've just been like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. Did I not bring them in time?" And today when I got home from the gym, I went to go talk to my trees in the garage. I just felt like I needed to talk to them. Like, "Babies, I love you. I'll be patient. I'll wait for you to wake up. Keep sleeping if you're tired. You'll wake up when it gets warmer." I just wanted to encourage them to not die. And I go to them and I see the tree that is the most sensitive to cold. It's begun to bloom. If you guys don't know, when a nectarine tree produces flowers, those flowers are what becomes the nectarine. Even in my fear that I had killed one of my most favorite trees. I had this tree inside the house at one of our houses. I'm not even joking. I would talk to it every day. It was inside the house, underneath a skylight. Yes, when my husband bought it for me, he's like, You want me to put this in the backyard?" I'm like, "No, that's a child. Put it in our living room. What is wrong with you?" He's like, "You want a tree, a big ass tree in our living room?" "Abso-fucking-lutely I do. That is a child. You cannot allow this child to get cold." And he was just like, "What the okay. I'll put it in the living room." That's the one that is now blooming. Wow. Just wow. Growth happening so silently. And I was so convinced nothing was happening, that I had killed my tree. I convinced myself that over the last few days, that I had killed my tree, that I'm a horrible plant mom. Why? Why would I think that? Why would I feel that? Well, because just like many of you, sometimes I don't trust in myself. Sometimes I cannot grasp how intuitively guided I am. We're all intuitively guided to a certain degree. Varying degrees of guidance is what we receive on a day-to-day basis. But for many of us, we don't want to hear it. We don't allow ourselves to hear it. I think that's the more accurate thing. We don't allow ourselves to hear the very thing that our soul is telling us. Why? Why? What's the reasoning? Because you're not enough? You're already turning heads. People are already recognizing the gravity of you without you even doing anything or intending to do anything. You're simply existing. That's all my plant had to do. Simply exist. That's it. That's it. That's all it had to do. Have its time, have its space, allow it to do what it does, which you can't see anything from the outside. You can't see anything from the outside. So, how do you know? How do you know you're growing? Because you can feel it. Yes, I had a fear that my trees had died. I did not feel death. I did not feel an absence of life. I simply couldn't see. And because I couldn't see, that fueled my fear that I had done something wrong. I think for many of us, we have this unreasonable, imbalanced fear of messing up. You can't mess up being yourself. It takes zero effort. You didn't know. To be you, authentically you, is to have zero effort placed in that. You're just you. You're you in every moment. It takes no effort. You don't have to try. The moment you begin trying to be yourself is the moment you are trying to be a caricature of the characteristics that you think people will be more receptive to. That's no longer you. That's a fragment of you. That's an amplification of specific characteristics. You see, the folks at the gym, I don't talk to anyone. I just don't. I don't talk to anyone. I don't interact with anyone. I don't wave or smile. I pretty much don't ever. I go to the gym. I'm in my own little world. I work out and then I leave. Because I'm in my own little world, as though no one else is in the gym with me. I'm over there just being myself. You know, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Sometimes I listen to questionable songs. I don't listen to Jesus songs when I work out. And I just realized yesterday I went to the gym and my headphones are really loud. My earbuds are super loud. And I can't hear anything beyond the music in my ears. I was singing a song out loud with very explicit lyrics. I don't know how loud I was singing that. Um, it was not a good song. The bass line was good. The lyrics was not. It was very inappropriate. And I don't know, I think people heard me singing it. It is what it is. It's me being myself. It's me being myself. And that's how I know these people, they're witnessing me be myself. They are drawn to my authenticity, just like everyone is drawn to yours, right? Are you being authentic? Or are you not being authentic, but people are witnessing you like not being authentic in your interactions because you're afraid of how people will receive you? But in the moments where you're kind of just lost in your own world and your own thoughts, um, people are seeing that. And that's what's drawing them in. So you have all these things happening, right? It was such an inappropriate song to be singing out loud. was the whisper song. I'm just like, oh no. Okay, the fire prince, optimism, aggression. I think for some of us, we have this idea that's developing where we think we have to be aggressive in our optimism. We have to like really push and force and make it happen. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know that you'll be able to do that with this circumstance. The sense that I get is things are unfolding in the way they are designed to unfold, not in the way you can force it to. Right? The Swan Queen, transformation, intuition, and patience. Allow your intuition to guide you as to what you should do and when. Be patient with your process. Allow yourself to naturally be transformed. And for some of us, what will transform us really is the hardships we face as we try and figure out who we are and why we're going through what we're going through. People are paying attention to you as you figure out your process. People are starting to really, really notice just how amazing you actually are. Now, of course, this is not going to apply to everyone. Not all of us are in a space of allowing our amazingness to be witnessed by others. That's just the reality of it. That's just the reality of it. And I say that in response to the person who thought, oh, so now she's saying everyone is amazing. You're not. You're not. You're a little bit sour. Did you want that truth? That's the truth as I see it. A large portion of the people who are watching this and listening to the podcast are, in fact, very amazing. And the reason they've crossed my path is because now they need the reminder of just how amazing they are. But I don't say things just to be nice. I'm not a nice person. I'm kind. And as part of my kindness, I'm always truthful. So when you're going to be very, I don't know, negative towards yourself, no, that's not amazing. But sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes it's that very opposing state that will help you to understand the importance of why you need to work so hard to retrieve the greatness that you actually are. I have no fear of speaking the truth. I have no fear of the truth being received as though it's offensive. Is it my intent to offend? No. But I will not have my character questioned. I am who I am. And in being who I am, it will garner attention from people who understand and from people who don't. Unless I need a reminder of how to better claim my truth, my power, and my love for myself, I don't need to pay attention to the negative folks. They have their own battles they're fighting. I don't need to join them on that battlefield, swinging at the air. Like, what are you fighting, really? Yourself? When you fight yourself, you're fighting something that has no form. How do you think you're going to win that? It is not something in a physicality. How do you think you're going to win that? It is something that transcends the limited perception of the human brain. How do you think you're going to win that? You're not. But you go on and fight yourself anyways. Because for some of us, that's something we need to learn on our own terms. I know I did. I had to learn that on my own terms. That when Emmy fights Emmy, no matter who wins, no matter which side wins, Emmy will lose. And I cannot stand losing. I cannot stand losing. I cannot stand knowing that I didn't explore every little crevice for information, knowledge, guidance as to how to succeed. That's something I have to work on because that is not healthy. It is not healthy to exist in that way, but it is healthy to recognize that still exists. And I have the capacity and willingness to love on the part of me that still operates from a space of trauma and lacking. I have the capacity to love that part of me. And since it's brought to my attention, now I know I need to. Being called out, it's not a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when you refuse to hear the truth coming from the mouth of a truth sayer. That is a bad thing. Because to refuse to receive the truth is to then openly admit that you prefer the lies. And lies will not help you. It will not grow you. At least not in a way that's compassionate and reduced in the level of pain. But some of us like that. So you grow in whatever way you want to grow. The choice is always up to you. Sisters of the season, cycles of growth, natural law, divine order. Yeah. I think for some of us, the message here is that we are trying to supplant that natural order, that divine order, the natural law of things. We're trying to create different rules for ourselves so that we can, I don't know what the objective is. Are you like trying to avoid what your soul is teaching you? Are you trying to prove to yourself that no one can tell you what to do? I've been there, I've done that. And you know what I learned? Soul is in control and it doesn't give a single caca about my little tantrums. It doesn't. My husband does. My soul doesn't. Earlier today, my husband's like, "You should eat before you start the live stream." And I was like, "Mm." And he goes, "So you're not going to eat because you feel like I'm telling you what to do? It's just a suggestion." Okay, I'll eat. Okay, I'll eat. And I ate. And now I'm happy. Um, the winged wise ones, angelic help, miraculous aid, but it's in reverse. So now this is telling me for some of you, you're even refusing to accept help from your own spiritual team. How is that going to help you? What's the objective of refusing help from your own spiritual team? Like, what is that going to do for you? Serious question. What is that supposed to do for you? Is it supposed to prove something? Um, is it you showing that you are the one in control? I mean, you are in control, but not the human you. I don't know if you knew that. You are in control, but not the human you. The energetic consciousness you is in control. So then it goes back to this thing of fighting yourself. I think for many of us, we've fought ourselves and we've lost, and then we've reconsidered, redirected, recommitted. And now we're at a space where it's like, I'm kind of just trying to flow. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm trying to flow. I'm trying to make things happen. I'm trying to get guidance from soul, and that's a good thing. For you who are in that process, finally entering into that space, you're turning heads. People are noticing. You're probably not doing it to be noticed, but people are noticing. They're recognizing just how amazing you are, right? Just how wild and free you are in your life, in your existence. I love that. I love that. Where they recognize your power is in your wildness. And I'm not talking about wilding out. Why why do that? That's something you do when you're young and don't know any better. You know, you put yourself in predicaments because you feel the need to wild out, and okay, that's part of your growth. You know, wild out, be safe in your wilding out, and then grow, grow. But for those of us who are already past that stage, and it has nothing to do with age really, not chronological age. For those of us who are past that stage of wilding out to prove to ourselves that we are in control, um, I don't think the wildness has anything to do with those types of actions and circumstance. I think it has to do with your refusal to succumb to your fear, like this wild energy about you that broadcasts unintentionally to everyone who's witnessing you that you will not stop until you do what you need to do. Oh, um, hold on. I do look wild. I look very wild. I look very wild in this picture. Hold on. Michael goes, you have evidence of your wildness. I'm like, what? I do. I have evidence of my wildness. This fool. Okay, hold on. I just gotta get rid of a few things in this picture. Hold on. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys. All right. I look wild. It's the hair. It's the hair. Um I was I was taking some images. Actually it's not I wasn't taking pictures. I was taking a video to track symmetry of my movement as I was doing heavy deadlifts. I was fucking deadlifting my ass off earlier. It was leg day. And I was just like, push it, girl, push it. I pushed it. I absolutely pushed it. I almost passed out. But I mean, don't worry. I didn't. I stopped before I got there. I stopped before I got there, but this is a still where oh, there it is. This the wildness. The wildness of me. Um and maybe that would make more sense as to why people are viewing me in the way that they view me. Um, yeah, wow, wasn't realizing this. So it's part of a video that was being taken to ensure that my shoulders, my back, my hips, everything's tracking the same. But I look hella wild. I look wild AF, wild AF. And it's okay. It's absolutely okay. It's okay. You see, the importance here, the ways in which I'm protecting myself. You guys might not realize that, right? I have Ehlers-Danlos. I have hypermobility issues. I'm prone to serious injury, especially in my joints. What you don't realize, I have a knee brace and a compression sleeve on my leg. From the bottom of my knee basically up to my groin. It's compressed. So I have awareness of my body. My elbows can dislocate fairly easily. I wear compression sleeves there too. I can dislocate my fingers very easily. So I wear these grips. And then I'm always paranoid about people standing behind me and looking at my ass. So, yes, I wear a fanny pack. I'm fucking old. What? I don't give a shit. It looks stupid. Stop looking. I wear a little hand towel tucked into my fanny pack on the back. I can bend over all I want. You're not seeing nothing, sir. Not without my consent. And so there I am, looking crazy AF with my crazy ass hair. It is what it is. It is what it is. And even though I'm not dressed like all the young folks and all the hip workout people, I wear crazy ass shit to the gym. I wear crazy ass shit to the gym. I don't buy gym clothes like that. Like I'm not interested in looking cute. I'm interested in having all my parts covered that I want covered because I'm a prude in that way. Absolutely. I can't wear long sleeves in the gym because I get too hot. But that's the thing. Some people might think like, "Oh, you're turning heads at me because you're dressed provocative." Yeah, you think? Show me where. Show me where. Show me where. Right. It's this thing of like recognizing when you do that to yourself, you know? You walk around your life with a pocket full of pins, ready to burst your bubble anytime someone like, you know, gives you some kind words. You got to explain away why they're wrong, why they misunderstood, and that they can't possibly be right about what your hair looking nice that day, you looking pretty that day, you looking fit, you know, doing an amazing job for whatever work you were doing. Like, do you do that? That when you turn heads, you are so quick to be like, "Oh no, it's because this." I used to be so ridiculous with that, where it's like if you compliment me, like say you compliment me on my hair, um, I totally would be like, "Oh, I just switched to a new shampoo. It must be that." Like, can you just accept that someone likes your hair? Like, girl, can you just accept that? Someone likes your hair? Can you just accept the compliment? Right? Can you just accept the compliment? Can you just receive kind words from a kind person who is speaking truth to you? They're speaking truth to you, a truth that you refuse to accept about yourself. Is it really that big of a deal for you to simply allow yourself to receive the kindness that a person outside of you has deemed appropriate for you? I mean, I think for some of us it's difficult. And if it's difficult, okay, just admit that it's difficult and keep working on it. And eventually you'll be able to receive that. But even before you're able to receive that, just know you're turning heads. People are noticing the progression you're making within your journey, within your job, within your personal circumstance, within your social circumstance, in every aspect of your life, you're progressing. The dream walker, dreams, the collective good, illusions. All your illusions about yourself are about to be shattered. Or you could just put those illusions down and walk away from it, right? I mean, hey, if I'm carrying around a plate of glass and you're approaching me with a hammer and you say you're going to shatter that, I'm going to set that shit down. I'm sorry. You're not going to do that while I'm holding it. I'm not going to cut my hand on that. Please. I got things I need to do. Hell no. Like, I don't think so. Oh, just hold this. No, I'm setting this down. You can destroy the glass all you want, but I'm setting it down. No, thank you. Right? You don't have to keep holding those illusions if you're already knowing that the message of the illusions being shattered is resonating within you. Like you're aware to some degree that you don't see yourself clearly, and that's been something you've struggled with. That's okay. A lot of people struggle with that. I struggle with that. That's okay. But to hold on to the illusion, like, oh, it's because you don't know me. You like me because you don't know me. Right? Like, no, that's an illusion. That is an illusion. Okay. The chess queen, trust, strategizing, but it's in reverse. So your soul is trying to create a strategic plan. Some tactical maneuvering is being put into play. This tactical maneuvering is designed to get you into the environment. Um, what? Like what circles? Michael says there are circles already speaking about you. Like work circles? Or are we talking about petty ass people again? Because if it's petty ass people again, I really don't care if they're talking about me. Tell those bitches I said bye. What circles? Why are you silent? You irritate me when you do that. Like you very seriously irritate the crap out of me when you do that, when you initiate a conversation and then just go like completely mute. He says to go look on Pinterest of all places. All right. This better not be some twin flame stuff, okay? Okay. It says, listen to my words and let them sink in. Let them fade into you and rest in your bones. I love you. And when I tell you that, it is never meant to lay on the surface with all the other words you collect during the day. It is always meant to live inside. Oh, hello, JM Storm. Well, hello, JM Storm. How are you doing? It's been a while. Um, Let me download that. I like that. Okay, what's the message? That was poetry. That was not a message. Okay. I'm telling you, you're going to make me really mad if this is like hold on. Hold on. Okay. What am I supposed to find here? Hairstyles? Is it time to cut my hair? Huh? Another JM storm? I always wanted you, even when I didn't know what I wanted. Even before I knew you, it was you. You were the chapter that I didn't know the words to, but always knew it existed. And when I finally found it and began to read, I knew I was home. Okay, you're on my shit list, Michael. I know exactly what you're doing. And I'm not listening to jack shit you say for the rest of the reading. For the rest of the reading. For the rest of the reading. Go away, Mikaela. Go steam your skirt or something. Freaking weirdo. Anyways, sorry guys. I'm going to petition that Michael be given this outfit. Look at this. I'm saying, okay, update your shit, bruh. Update your shit. Okay, we can do that in Paisley's. That's fire. Let me start a folder for you. Hold on. I'm going to create a board. It's going to be Mikaela. Mikaela. Potential fits. Why are you mad? Get out of my space then. You don't like it? Too bad. Get out of my space. I need to be here to defend you. No, you don't. You're just a bugaboo. You're just a bugaboo. Oh my God, this would look so fabulous on him. Look at this. I'm saying, I'm saying, okay, stop talking to me. I need to focus. I need to focus. Ooh. Okay, look. Wing holes. Okay. Wing holes. Wing holes. I'm just saying, there's options. There's options. Explore your options, sir. Okay. Okay. Rear delt exploitation right there. Just exploit that. I'm saying he has highly developed rear delts. These are gorgeous. Let me save this. You need this outfit. I'm telling you. I'm gonna ask Papa. I'm gonna ask Papa to change your outfit because whoever designed your outfit sucks. Okay, honestly, this type of outfit would be more his steez because he's actually dark. He's not love and light. He's not purity and love and light and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's like the destructive hand of God. So ooh, okay. See, don't ever tell me to go on Pinterest again while I'm doing a reading. Like, F out of here. Anyways, time. Time in reverse. You're out of time. This is not something that you can put off any longer. Again, you're turning heads. People are paying attention. They're recognizing and seeing the potentiality of you. Be careful. Some people are getting jealous. Some people are getting jealous. That's for them to deal with. Just don't allow their jealousy to negatively impact you. Okay. Don't allow their jealousy to negatively impact you. Don't you dare allow Marlene back in this field. I swear to God. Whew. Anyways, balance. Balance is going to be allowed to be reestablished for you. Balance is absolutely going to be allowed to be reestablished. You're going to get a better sense of center. You're going to be given context as to why things are going the way they are, what this transformation is about, because you're transforming. You're transforming. You are that gorgeous butterfly that became a puddle of goop and now you're exiting your chrysalis. I mean, you look shriveled and a little bit swollen, if we're going to really be honest. Um, but I mean, you just let stuff air out. Just flap the wings, let the fluid be distributed evenly across your wings, let your wings dry off. Not only will you become even more beautiful than what you thought you were capable of becoming, you also will then develop the ability to fly. Listen. You have to listen to what soul is trying to communicate to you. You have to allow yourself to hear the very things that are intended to encourage you through a process that's been so difficult. But you also have to use discernment in reverse. This is telling me that for some of you, I don't know who, but for some of you, there's a potentiality of a mimic pretending to be your higher self, that there's going to be an attempt to try and derail you. Be careful of people who say they speak to your higher self and they have no honor. Be careful of those people, okay? For some of you, there's going to be people who are going to come across your path and they're going to try and convince you that they received a message from your soul and this and that. I mean, do you know how many people have tried to tell me that I am their twin flame and that, oh, why am I not wanting to believe the truth? You don't resonate with me. I don't feel anything towards you other than like disdain and like disgust, because I really don't need someone trying to tell me that I can't hear my own soul. I don't need that. I don't need that type of toxicity in my life. You I don't. Yeah. You can't believe everyone that claims to know what's best for you. Because honestly, the people who have your best intention at heart, the people who have integrity and are a good source of encouragement and guidance, they're not interested in being right and forcing you into agreement. You're turning heads. And I think that could possibly include the heads of things that are very questionable in integrity, things and people who are questionable in their integrity. As you rise, as you reach higher levels of potentiality, there will be those who will be drawn to you because they want to feed off the energy that you are intended to use to rise even higher. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. I mean, you already know. You already know that someone is doing this if someone is doing it to you. You know, you just don't want to believe it. You feel like you're being mean. You feel like, um, you're judging them. Some people need to be judged. Seriously, some people need to be judged. Some people, you need to take a good hard look at them and judge for yourself whether that person is healthy or unhealthy for you. Judgment has nothing to do with condemnation. You should not condemn people. That is what you should not do. But absolutely, you need to use your judgment as to whether someone should be allowed to continue to access you. I think for some of you, it's a very strong message of an attempt to completely derail your progression because they want to interfere with what you are forming. Formation in reverse. For some of you, part of what you're doing right now, the process that you're in, has to do with the work that you are here to do in service of the collective whole. And of course, there are dark things that don't want that to go through. They don't want that to happen. Are you going to allow them to be successful in that? In their attempt to derail you, in their attempt to delay, in their attempt to completely destroy what it is you're working on? Some demonic people, people who have parasitic attachments, um, they're not intending to be destructive in what you're doing. They don't realize. But just because they don't realize and they don't intend doesn't mean they should be allowed to continue. When you allow it to continue because you recognize that, they're not really being intentionally malignant, which that's important to note. Um, you're allowing it in. Yesterday, I was on a live stream and there were a few things that were happening. It was just like real crazy energy. So, what I did was I removed people's ability, I quietly removed it, people's ability to purchase expedites from me during while I was live on TikTok. And then maybe like 15 minutes later, there was an individual who was very gruff in their commenting. It was irritating me. It was because the energy was matching the gruffness. So it was irritating me, but I didn't feel like they were being intentionally malicious. And then there was an exchange between that person and someone else in the comments. And I was just like, "Ugh, okay, I can't get caught up in this. This just, the energy is already super weird. It's already super weird, like negative weird." And as I was going to start on someone else, um, another circumstance occurred where it was a thing of someone's trying to access people in the and I'm just like, but finally I just absolutely lost my shit. And I redefined the boundary and I spoke intentionally. And these different circumstances kind of got merged together in the way I was speaking. So it wasn't that that person who was gruff in their communication was doing something. I don't know if people thought that they were doing something, but I basically addressed everything all at once. And then that person came back in later on and was like, I'm an islander too, and I have deep respect for you. I'm sorry if it was rude. And I can't tell people's profile pictures. I'm supposed to wear glasses, but I don't. I only wear it at the gym so I can see if people are being weird with me from far away. Yeah, I don't like to wear glasses. It keeps slipping down my face. And then it kind of made sense. It kind of made sense because I'm familiar with quite a few different Pacific Islander cultures, and it's very easy to misconstrue um, typical communication within specific cultures to be rude, to be gruff. And I was like, oh shit, it was a misunderstanding, you know? And I addressed it on the live, and then I wasn't sure if the person was there. So I went ahead after the live and I messaged them directly, like, hey, I appreciate you apologizing. Clearly, it was a misunderstanding. Don't feel like you have to stay away. And I was basically like, you know, I can help you to work on yourself if that's something that you are interested in doing. Go to my YouTube channel, watch those videos. Right? Not everyone intends to be received in a negative manner. Sometimes it's a cultural thing. Like, if you ever hear my relatives together, we loud AF. You'd think someone's fighting, but we just loud. That's part of the culture. We have fun together, we get loud. We get loud. There's nobody fighting. Not fighting. This is not the same as what's happening, where the message is that someone is being intentionally malignant. And this is not a message for everyone. This is a message for those who resonate with it, and you already know who it is. Like, if you're there thinking to yourself, like, I wonder who she's talking about, message is not for you. It's not. It could be, no, it's not. Unless you already know, like, knee jerk reaction, oh my God, I know who she's talking about. I knew it. Then the message is not for you. Don't look for problems in your life where none currently exists, right? Not every single thing I say is supposed to apply to you. Allow yourself to feel the resonance of what is actually for you, and then release the things that you don't feel intense resonance with. For those who are resonating, be careful. That individual is very much influenced. I don't think they understand that they are, or know that they or are willing to hear that they're being negatively influenced. But I detect negative, dark influence. And they're very jealous of seeing how you are rising above your circumstance, how you are achieving things, how you are making things happen for yourself. And they are coming up with a cockamania's plan of how they're gonna, like, knock you down a couple pegs. Shit. Oh, don't let me talk about what I would do. No. So I'm told to pull 2 cards. 2 cards. #1, #2. I'm pulling from 2 different decks. So we're going to start with #1. Oh, before I start, oh my goodness. I didn't even mention any of this. My goodness. So this Saturday, I'm going to be doing the Black Magic Revocation Workshop. I believe the date is the 16th. If you would like to learn from me how to negate the effects of people intentionally being malignant using dark crafts, to negatively impact you, check out this Black Magic Revocation Workshop. It's a 4-hour workshop. You simply click on the QR code or the link in the comment, and you'll be able to see all the information and get your tickets there. I also have etheric medicine services that are available. If you're needing specific types of assistance with um, medical circumstance that has been unresolved and doctors are not able to help you, maybe it's time to consider etheric medicine. I also have my soul based business mentorship. This is a private session. These sessions are powerful, powerful. I'm able to give you the messages from your soul that help to keep you on track with what your soul is trying to get you to accomplish. This is perfect for people who are in the process of trying to figure out what business they want to have and, how to do that and, all these different questions, right? And then if you're looking for all my other services, simply click on this QR code or the link in the comment, and it'll take you directly to my website, show you all the different services. I have tons of different services to choose from. I'm going to be cleaning that up soon because people get all like confused, like, damn, there's so many, I don't know what to pick. I say pick what you're drawn to, whether you understand what it is or not. Typically, when you do that, it's your soul guiding you to choose that. So I've had that happen so many times for so many of my clients. They don't know why they chose the session they did. And it turns out they actually absolutely needed that. All right. So we're working on #1. #1. Okay. Here goes. I'm also going to be going live this evening on TikTok. This time, I'm not going to take down the expedite link. I did the last time. So let me get that for you guys. Hold on one second. So that way, if you're interested in participating, but the live stream is going to be on TikTok. If you're interested in joining me for tonight's expedites on TikTok, let me get the link. La 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 la. Going live on TikTok later this evening. All right. Let me get you guys the link. Get you this link. Okay. Get that link. Here we go. Here we come to save the day. Okay. Let me clear my throat. Okay. Here we go. Okay. There it is. There it is, yo. What's up? Click on the QR code. Here, I'll put it on the screen. It's the TikTok tea party. All right, we're doing #1. #1. Expedites are when I do personal readings, energy scans, all sorts of different services that I typically offer in private sessions. But instead of that, I'm going to be doing it during a live stream. And it's people's opportunity to get my energetic services for a fraction of the cost. If you click on that QR code, you'll be able to see the price difference in private session and a tea party. So, of course, private session is much more ideal if you're wanting in-depth type time with me. But if you have something that needs to be done like ASAP and you don't mind if it is performed on a live stream, I try and go like pretty fast with people. I'm slow. I'm like with each person for 5-10 minutes. It's not like fast, fast. Okay. Hashtag one. Let's see. Ooh, oh, turning heads, but oh, girl, you okay? She might not be okay. Hold on, let me find the meaning. Card number 20. She might not be okay. There might be an issue. Hold on. Let's see what it means. I don't think I've ever pulled this card. Okay, here goes for those who chose hashtag one. Let me get that off the screen. Okay. Hashtag one. Chinamasta. Chinamasta. Look at that. Oh my God, that might be an issue. Oopsie. Sacred severance is her radical grace. Ooh. She is our soul's power to shed and survive, to outgrow and evolve. When the soul needs to separate itself from that on which it once relied, be it a view of ourselves or the world or a group or belief system that cannot support the truths of the heart, she is the capacity, sovereignty, and courage required for self liberation. Systems of oppression within your mind and your world will be overcome. You have the power to sever your attachment to the past and focus on inner regeneration and reorientation, healing into a path that is worthy of your heart. Woohoo! Oh my goodness. Those who chose hashtag one, you're entering into an extremely powerful period. Major changes, major shifts. Like, this is huge, huge. The fifth of the Mahavidya wisdom goddesses is a most shocking form of Kali, Chinnamasta. She is a divine feminine avatar, self decapitated and partaking of the blood that emerges from her throat. The name Chinnamasta translates as beheaded. She signifies a powerful activation of the spiritual path through the confrontation of oppressive behaviors. Oof. Self limiting attitudes. And intellectual dominance of intuition. These are all the ways in which you're potentially betraying yourself. Oh, Lord. The head is a symbol of the known, of thinking, of forms of authority. It is the head that wears the crown, the sign of status and power. Unrestrained by authority, she's able to overpower it. For our human selves, the head is the locus of control. So during a Chinnamasta initiation, you will not understand what is happening, and you won't know how everything is going to turn out. This is as it is meant to be and not something you need to worry about or fight against. Chinnamasta is potent medicine for liberation. Her graphic iconography differentiates her from other forms of Kali that wear her favorite accoutrements of severed heads and skull garlands. Chinnamasta's severance is of her own head. This represents self liberation. We do not need to wait for another to intervene. She shows the way to save ourselves, to move from inner courage and inner wisdom. Her presence can indicate a time when you must trust yourself completely without external support systems to rely on. The beliefs and constructs that once supported you will no longer be able to do so. Success cannot come from the tried and true paths of the past. You are evolving beyond that. It is time to rest in the void and allow for a new way to emerge. This is ridiculously powerful. Despite the inherent violence in the image, Chinnamasta is not dead. Blood is flowing. She is very much alive. No matter how severe the challenges you are encountering, no matter what you let go of, which you once identified with or cherished, your life shall continue. You, the real you, which is not who you thought it was, is breaking free into more life, not less. Sometimes the old systems have to fall for the new order to be established. Things will never be the same because your real self is powerful enough to shed the false layers and radiate its inner beauty and wisdom more freely. Her partaking of blood symbolizes the capacity to be nourished and fed by change rather than devastated or destroyed by them. It is reassurance that at a deeper level, you are gaining something from the chaos and deconstruction in your being and your life. As you continue to move through the process of change, you will gain energy for something new. Chinamasta is self nourishing through the spiritually conscious application of destructive energy. Chinamasa shows us that transformation is not about trying to change others. It is about tackling our views, our fixed identities, and our attachments to power and status. Even if a situation is causing us pain and it appears to be under the control of another person, Chinamasta initiates us into using our spiritual power to free ourselves. Her teaching is that we have the means to become free within us. We do not need to control outer circumstances or other people. Within us is the energy we need to continue on our path. We can draw what we need from within. Chinamasta leads us into deeper terrain where we can release tendencies to self sabotage through ignoring our intuition, our truth, and our needs. We have the power to get out of our own way. You need to get out of your own way. I think for some of us, this process is going to be presented or experienced in such a way where it feels like you're losing your head. But are you? I think what you're losing is the imbalance, the perception that other people know what's better for you than you know for yourself. It's time for you to reclaim your power. And you do that by making decisions on your own terms in your own time, and then allowing yourself to experience what the end result of that decision is. Not every decision you make is going to feel good. Not every decision you make or option you choose is going to give you a result that you're going to feel proud of. But I think it's important to know every decision you make takes you one step closer to the reclamation of self and the liberation of your truth. For many of us, we keep this truth under lock and key. Why? Because it is a truth so profound that it would make it impossible for you to continue playing the limited roles that you've gotten comfortable playing. It's time for you to become what you are destined to be. And that time is now. Okay. For those who chose hashtag 2, hashtag 2. You've been worried that your decision is going to leave you feeling stranded. Is it stranded or actively paused in order to gain some degree of stillness? And that stillness would gift you the clarity that you're seeking in regards to what direction you should go. So is it stranded, or is it intentional attempt to pause, to slow you down, right? Card number 31. For those who chose hashtag 2, here goes. Sweeping Sister Willow. Sweeping Sister Willow gently brings you healing for forgiveness and release of old pain now. Let her branches gracefully sweep any sadness and pain from your heart and soul. Your time for greater inner freedom is dawning, and the cleansing sadness and healing of forgiveness is a pathway to that greater freedom now. You deserve this freedom, and you are swiftly becoming ready to gift it to yourself with the help of Kuan Yin. Forgiveness is a way to raise your vibration by shedding old energies that drain you and prevent you from having all your power available to you now. It is a chance to free yourself from suffering and empower yourself. Sweeping Sister Willow guides you to forgive others and yourself abundantly and freely now. You may be very aware of your own need for forgiveness, or this may come as a surprise to you, in which case, be open to hearing the truth of who or what needs to be forgiven and released from Mother Willow, from Willow Mother, from deep within your own heart. It may be a small incident from when you were a child or a significant experience that you have just put to one side in an effort to carry on with your life. This approach has been admirable, and yet there's always a time to confront, forgive, and move on, not just in mind, but genuinely in the body. This oracle indicates that you are in the process of forgiving others and that you also need to remember to forgive yourself for being human and needing to learn and grow just like everyone else. You do not have to be perfect, and sometimes it is in forgiving ourselves that we become most able to forgive others too. We suffer less from harsh judgments, which do not feel good for our heart and drain our soul forces. Instead, we experience more kindness, sweet nurturing from sweeping Sister Willow, Kuan Yin in her form of forgiveness and healing, and enjoy more peace of mind. Forgiveness is a powerful spiritual practice that helps you disconnect your energetic circuits from people, places, situations, and memories that can drain your power from the present moment and slow down your spiritual growth and the physical manifestation of your heart's desire and soul purpose. At present, you are growing spiritually and you need your power in the present moment to fuel your process. Like surfing a wave, you're about to be lifted. So forgive with sincerity and wisdom. And no, this doesn't mean you are permitting future abuse. It means you are ready to have your power in the present moment. You have compassion and allow the universe to direct the learning of every being on this planet. You let go of thoughts of revenge and you free yourself from the past. It's about moving forward in a way that's very intentional, in a way that helps you to really just embrace the process you're in and the person you are blossoming into. Give yourself the time and the space. Allow yourself to receive the compassion you so freely give to others. This is like so important. It's a part of your journey that most people will often think is, you're messing up, you're lost, you're broken, you're this, you're that, all of these negative things, right? I hesitate um, to be permissive of people identifying as broken. You know, hold on, because I know that there are parts of me that are fractured, but I don't believe I'm broken. Let me let's see. Let's see. Hmm. To split or fragment so as to no longer function or exist. Hmm. I'm wondering, is even the identification of my fractured parts some hyper intellectualized way to identify myself, or at least parts of me, as broken? You have to be careful about the words you use to identify yourself with. If you use them long enough, it becomes a part of your actual identity. So now, as I told you guys at the beginning of this reading, I like to audit myself frequently. I like to see the spaces in which I'm ready for more growth because I've achieved a higher degree of maturity emotionally, intellectually, energetically. However, right? In what ways are you using words to label yourself in a way that's inaccurate for you? a way that diminishes the truth of your power, the truth of your potential, your purpose, your capabilities. I'm going to have to begin refraining from saying I have parts that are still fractured. Although I don't feel any negative emotions when I state what I perceive to be my current state, I'm realizing that maybe I've matured in some way and that word is no longer appropriate, and that a more appropriate word needs to be found. A word that can accurately identify the process I'm in, where I'm at in that process, while simultaneously claiming more of my own power back into my identity. Let me look up a word. So, split or fragment, right? Define prismatic. Prisms. Form separated or distributed by an optical prism or something acting as one. Hmm. Having such symmetry that a general form with faces cutting all axes at unspecified intercepts is a prism. I'm prismatic and I'm in a prismatic state. There are parts of me that are still in a prismatic state, where it takes the totality of me and fragments it in such a way that gives me the gift and the honor of seeing the components that make up that part of me. Is a rainbow broken? Or is it just bent light? Where a singular light is bent into its components, fragmented, but not broken, right? So I'm not fractured. There are parts of me in varying states of prismatic healing activity. I think that's more accurate. I think that is much more accurate and much more worthy a descriptor word for the process I'm in. Be careful, even to the most mildest degree of identifying as something less than what you actually are. You identify as that long enough, it becomes a part of your identity. I will not diminish myself anymore. And when I find spaces in which I am still diminishing myself, albeit in a hyper intellectualized manner, um, I will then need to correct that, because I deserve to know myself, see myself, and identify myself as the wholeness that I actually am. Regardless of where I am in that process, it's every part of it is valid. Every part of you and every part of your process is valid, powerful, and growing you in ways you might not even realize yet. Regardless, you're turning heads. People are noticing. And as they notice, it brings your attention to the things you need to pay attention to about yourself. Let yourself see yourself in the proper light this time. No more funhouse mirrors. No more weird lights. Allow yourself to stand in the light of your truth and see yourself clearly with no distortions. That's what you deserve at this point. That's what you deserve. So, guys, I'm going to be going live on TikTok later this evening, probably around 5:30 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I want to give people time to get off of work. So probably around 5:30 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go look for me on TikTok. I'm Emmy Evolving across all social media. Don't follow or fall for clone accounts. I never reach out. I never solicit you for services. And I don't run any type of contest where I'm going to reach out to you and tell you you've won. No, no, no. That is someone lying. So, the only way to get a session with me is through my live stream expedites or by booking a session directly through my website, meevolving.com. If you are needing to have something done, you're needing some type of energetic assistance, life coaching. I'm a life coach, you guys. I'm also a spiritual coach. I provide all sorts of different services. Go check it out, meevolving.com. If you are ready to learn how to be your own healer, you are ready to learn how to harness your power and have clients, k33academy.com. I run a certification program and I have a cycle coming up. I'm still taking in students for this upcoming cycle. It's tentatively scheduled to start end of May. And we have a whole bunch of different workshops. I have the Black Magic Revocation Workshop this Saturday. Go check it out, k33academy.com or mevolving.com. I'll see you guys again very soon. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that content creator jazz. Do it for me. And then meet me at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight, TikTok. It's a platonic date. Yes. Friendship date. Yes. Yes. See you guys there.